Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. Today on your daily starter, I want to convince you that you've got enough time to do everything you want to do. I'm telling you, you have more than enough time to do everything you want to do. Hello friend, this is the voice of Ademola Morebise. Hello friend, I believe that you have more than enough time to do the things you want to do. A lot of times we feel, I want to do all of these things and I don't have the time, it's going to take a lot of time and things like that here and there. I believe strongly that actually you have time, okay? There's more than enough time to do the right thing, more than enough time to do the things we want to do. A lot of times when we complain about time, it's simply because, we are trying to cut corners, right? We're trying to cut corners and we feel doing things this way, it will take too much time. So can't I get the same result if I do it this way instead? A lot of times we are simply in a hurry. Honestly, we're just in a hurry to nowhere. And so we're not willing to, really calm down and really take a full perspective on things and then make a better informed decision. It's back to this argument between short-term thinking and long-term thinking. I believe that as a young person, we should be more interested in long-term thinking, long-term plans, as opposed to short-term gains. I believe that as a young person, we should, reorientate ourselves towards long-term thinking as opposed to looking for things that could pay off in the short term. You see, these are principles of the universe. These are principles that are rooted in our universe. Like, you can't cheat these principles, okay? For a while, I tell you, look, guys, internet or no internet, digital marketing or no digital marketing, technology or not, it still takes about 10 years of, consistent work in order for you to, build that life of success. You have to understand something, that success is going to happen, right? But it will be drip by drip, right? Little by little. Success compounds over time. So because of that, by definition, right, you realize that success is something that will come to you drip by drip, little here, little there, then boost all at once, right? You don't get that overnight push. You don't get that overnight success. You don't get that massive returns on your energy, right? It doesn't happen to you, that way. It's going to happen in the long term. And so because of that, we have to understand that we need to discipline ourselves to put things in context and give the required time to the things we do. So for example, you feel you had a bad day because you couldn't complete, some tasks, right? But actually, if you are thinking short term, then yes, you've had a bad day. But most of the time, if you think long term, you realize you are still okay. Because at the end of the day, your success will compound over time and not based on what you did once or twice. And that is why, you can't start project based on excitement, right? Because if you do something 1, 2, 3 times based on excitement, you are motivated. That is not enough. Those 3 times is not enough to make you successful in the long run, all right? You want to do something 75 times. I'm telling you, 85 times, 95 times. You want to do something 555 times, right? You've done it so much, so well, that in fact, if you stopped, right, the momentum, you've generated, the momentum you've built will make it very, very difficult, if not totally impossible, for you to stop. But if you do something once and twice and you're expecting gains, it's not going to happen, So I tell people you need 10 years to be successful, and they feel, Mr. M, what are you talking about? I don't have 10 years. But at the end of the day, by the time you now, so you're jumping from thing to thing, you do this one for a year or two, shut it down, wait for a certification, did a little of it, shut it down again. I mean, just jumping here and there, you would realize that you've wasted 8 years, you wasted 10 years, some have wasted 15 years. When what they should have really done was to settle down, sit down with one thing, sit with it, stick with it for 10 years, and emerge on the other side, victorious, right? So when you think about your things in terms of short term, you keep on thinking you don't have time to do something serious, as opposed to, taking a step back and taking a big picture so that you can correctly position yourself down for some super gains, right? So, I mean, if you couldn't write today, and so what, right? Even if you're able to sit down and do just one high quality article a week, right? That means in 52 weeks, you would have about 50 very, very brilliant articles, well written, well edited, things that can actually move the needle in your life, right? I mean, at the end of the year, you're like, wow, oh, now I have 50 high quality articles, as opposed to, some junk stuff you just push together on some days when you feel like. At the end of the year, yes, you might think you have written more, but you've written things that are fairly standard, things that won't actually change your life in any meaningful way. Okay, you want to get engaged in a blockchain project, for example. You are forced to now start looking for, okay, who are those that have already built their platforms, so you can borrow what they have done, as opposed to sitting down to build yours from scratch. Okay, building from scratch will always take longer than just hopping on what others have done, but in the long run, you're going to get more fulfillment. You're going to get, you'll be better positioned for the long run if you could spare time to do things you need to do. So rather than convince yourself you don't have time, and that forces you to make poor decisions today, thinking you are cutting corners, why don't you tell yourself that you've got time? You've got so much time that, in fact, you can spend the time, give project as much time and attention that is required, so that you can get very, very good results. Why don't you think about it and see the adjustment that is necessary? Why don't you put that time in this morning? Say, God daily loads me with benefits. I am bold and strong. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. My name is Ademola Morebise. Thank you so much for taking our time to check out this video. Remember, you can lead a formidable life. Have a great day.